For iMedia Connection, I'm Bob Garfield, and look, hey, we're back in the lounge. We're here again. And we're here this time with Susan MacDermid, who is the president of DMG Digital, who owns the lounge. Thank you very much for coming into your lounge, Susan.
I think it's your lounge, Bob.
So, look, this something happened today. It was an accident. It very seldom occurs. I was in a ballroom, and I was paying attention. And until today, something you said almost offhandedly, I never really gave any thought as to who has subsidized all of the free lunches going back now 15 or 20 years. And you say it's, well, who is it?
Well, you know, this is something I've thought probably for 10 years now. So being in digital from 95, you know, working on the brand side as well as on some of the big portals, you know, you saw this movement online of content, which was, you know, genuine content created by individuals around their hobbies, their interests, or their passion points. And then you saw this proliferation of really valuable, professionally produced content. And, you know, and then it all imploded. All that VC money went into all that free content, right? That's what made it free. And, you know, all of the startups thought, if I can just pull the eyeballs together, I'll figure out how to monetize it. And when it imploded, and I think the estimation by economists was we took $1 trillion out of the U.S. economy. Well, it had to come from somewhere. So maybe it came from our pension funds, right? And if it came from our pension funds, would we rather pay for our content today and have money for our pension tomorrow?
Today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if there's a drug stronger than crack in terms of addictiveness, but we also found with broadband we could get all kinds of really great entertainment when we wanted it, how we wanted it. And, you know, I think a lot of the entertainment studios saw it coming. Certainly music saw it coming. Certainly the newspaper industry and the magazine industry saw it coming. But they weren't able to get out of the model they're in. And I always use the metaphor of you're driving down a highway and you need to change the tires. Right, so they can't figure out how to not have a car crash, but they know their business model's dead, and they're not innovating their way out. It took Steve, you know, to create a storefront for content, but he takes 30% off the top.
Steve.
Steve Jobs.
Call him Steve.
I do call him Steve.
I call him Steve Jobs.
And so, you know, again, it's VC funded, and now if we look where that VC money is coming for, this is, I think, the third go-around, I think it's really a question that was stimulated by the keynote this morning, which is, you know, we've basically unmonetized content. And it took us centuries, maybe a millennium or two, to monetize it. And if we go back and we look at it and we say, you know, in some countries the paywall has worked better. With mobile, people are more willing to pay. And as everything goes mobile, is it like time for us to kind of go, can we learn from our mistakes and figure out, you know, valuable content is valuable. I really, you know, wonder, you know, what the future is for content. And I think the observation this morning was what we're monetizing is the gate, right? Whether it's the search gate or the Facebook gate or the Groupon gate or the iTunes iStore gate. We're monetizing the gate. We're no longer
that doesn't lend itself to an economy where money circulates and jobs are created.
Right. But we still have pension funds, right? So we can still...
For the moment.
Right. And, you know, they helped with the mortgage crisis.
You know, when you mentioned crack cocaine, I thought that's a little harsh. But the other thing that drug use does, it takes a toll on the entire society. And this, I think, is a very powerful idea that the cost of subsidizing 15 or 20 years worth of content has taken a toll on the whole society, not only now, but maybe in perpetuity. So any thoughts as to how to reverse the cycle?
I have a plan. Why don't we become a media product in and of ourselves? And I think that's why Coke has pulled ahead of Pepsi, is they have figured out if they take some of their dollars out of paid advertising and they create their own content, their own utility, their own value to customers or consumers, those people will come to them and feel more of a bond with their product, and that will drive purchase. We had a speaker today, Kevin Doohan from Red Bull. I thought it was a great example. They create a huge amount of content, right? Stella Artois, you know, wins film shorts for their TV commercials. And in general, they won't pay for media, right? So there's a number of brands out there that are innovating and saying, instead of paying $1 million to place my TV commercial, I'm going to spend $1.5 million and create this awesome commercial that people will want to come to and will want to see. And so I think that's a way out.
You know, 12 years ago when Coke started talking about being a medium, and I am such a visionary. And, you know, I don't want to boast because it's not, you know, it's just unbecoming. But I said they're not a medium. They're a soft drink. I didn't see that coming.
Well, and you know, they didn't either. I worked for Coke off and on as an agency since '95, and you know, when they first did that Coke site, they thought it was going to be about music, right? And actually, kids wanted to connect with each other, right? And they just wanted to have a branded place.
It's kind of a proto-social network.
Exactly,
is what it was.
exactly.
Yeah.
So they've had a lot of surprises, but it goes back to the focus of the couple of days we've been here, which is the need to experiment and take those experiments back, you know, to the mothership. And I think, you know, we have billions, literally, in the U.S., and we can choose to have the brands figure out how to provide utility, how to provide value, how to provide entertainment, how to provide connection, or we can pay for media to be next to paid content. And, you know, that model, you know, is a little shaky right now.
It's not working very well.
Yeah.
Susan, look, I know you pay the rent on this lounge, but we got to scram. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bob.
Susan MacDermid is president of DMG Digital. I am Bob Garfield, speaking for iMedia Connection. Get out of my lounge.